The Walt Disney Company is trying to toss out a widower's wrongful death lawsuit because the plaintiff signed up for Disney Plus, raising concerns over the fine print. Jeffrey Piccolo's wife died last year from a severe allergic reaction at a Disney World restaurant after repeatedly warning the staff about the allergies. Disney argues the terms of the Disney Plus trial state that a person cannot take the company to court and any disputes must be settled via arbitration. Piccolo signed up for a 1-month free trial in 2019, agreeing to the terms, we're talking about Disney Plus here, and agreed again when he purchased the Disney theme park tickets in 2023. Piccolo's lawyers say the preposterous argument that the agreement can be extended to wrongful death or personal injury claims, in his words, borders on the surreal. So joining us now to discuss further from the Lawyer in Blue Jeans group, Justin Isaac. Justin, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
This is the most convoluted, confusing apples and oranges case I'm not a lawyer like you, but I mean, tell us, break it down for us.
So basically, Disney is trying to have this removed into arbitration, which usually favors them. It does not favor the consumer necessarily, because if we go to trial, you want to get a jury there. You want jury to hear the story and hear about the wrongful death and hopefully side with the widower and award a lot of money. But in arbitration, it's probably not going to happen, not even close to what it would be in a jury trial. And so now Disney is saying, well, you signed up for our services and you clicked yes to arbitration on those terms and conditions, which nobody reads, right?
Sure.
And they're trying to say that because of that, he now has to go to arbitration and cannot have a regular standard trial in that sense, which to me is just ridiculous. It is so crazy to think. Not to mention, he never even signed up. It was a trial for 2 weeks, then he canceled the services, and they're still trying to hold him to that.
Here's what I can't get. I understand Disney Plus, because we have it on our TV. When the grandkids come over, they can watch their shows.
Yeah.
That's Disney Plus streaming. How is that in any way related to the theme park?
Well, if you think
and
about the overarching corporate structure of Disney, right? So any subsidiary that kind of works with it, essentially, it's still part of the same company. And so any lawsuit they're trying to claim is that any lawsuit that stems from a dispute with Disney needs to be like that, kind of incorporates it in. And I agree with you. I think it's so far off.
Shady.
It is. But this has worked in the past. That's the problem, is that we have a split of opinion in circuit courts, because some courts have actually found for these big companies when they have made this claim. And so I think we're heading to the Supreme Court on this one.
Is it? So this is a precedent-setting case in your opinion?
It could be, because since, you know, I think a lot of people would agree with our opinion that this is just ridiculous, right? This is just a corporation trying to get out of something, or trying to get out of trouble and get out of paying a lot of money. But realistically, it's happened in a couple of courts now where they said, you know what? They're right. It happened with Airbnb and a couple other big companies. So Disney's a massive corporation, but what that means now is that anyone who has agreed to any services, 150 million Disney Plus subscribers, right? And now all of them are going to be bound to this arbitration clause, no matter what the cause of action. That's crazy to me.
And what's I think is noteworthy here is, according to Mr. Piccolo, they were very, very clear and adamant about his late wife's allergies.
Yeah, I read that too, that they said probably 4 or 5 times to make sure, and yet still this happened, which this is I mean, can you imagine the nightmare of being that server or whoever it might be? Like, you would feel terrible. And then this happens in this case where they try and remove it, they try and kind of take away your rights a little bit too. That's the way it feels, at least.
It's just everything. It just rubs you wrong. I mean, we were sitting here talking off camera. This is bizarre.
Yeah, it's a common tactic, and big corporations employ it. And since you don't really put a face necessarily to these corporations, they can kind of get away with this stuff because you can't pinpoint somebody and say, that's a bad person, right? But that's not a good argument, in my opinion, and it's not very. I mean, law is not necessarily about being nice, but it's not very nice, you know?
Yeah, and who would possibly conflate the Disney Plus subscription on your smart TV with what happens when you go to the theme park? I just can't.
A lawyer would.
A lawyer, yeah. There you go. All right.
A Disney lawyer would.
Well, there's going to be a lot more on this to come. So
yeah, absolutely.
This is long from over.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, read the fine print, folks. Read the fine print.